If you haven't heard already, YouTuber, influencer, life coach, dating expert Kevin Samuels passed away May 5th, 2022. Supposedly out of cardiac arrest. He was found non-responsive in his place in Atlanta, Georgia. He was very controversial, to say the least, to most. He pretty much got famous off of his YouTube videos where he would have women call into his show and they discuss whether or not the woman's worthy of the man that she deems that she feels like she deserves to have. High value men is what he coined it as. So when he would actually interview these women, he'd ask them certain things about their height, their weight, you know, how many kids they have, and that kind of thing. And he tried to help and explain to them exactly what high value men look for. Most of the time, the women were very argumentative. They didn't want to listen to reason or him at all, in which he would question, why'd you even come to my show? Yes, he would call them out their names, and I don't necessarily just agree with that, just, you know, calling women out their names just because you have an argument. But he felt so strongly about his points. He actually championed men, which in this time and age, men need some championing, because we've been left in the back a little bit, because nowadays it's all about what the woman wants and nothing about what the man wants. A real double standard. And I mean, either side of the argument that you're on, you know, I'm not trying to sway you at all, but I feel like, you know, he was very necessary to the discussion that we had when it came to the dating world. You know, try to maybe even it out a little bit. You know, he was very eccentric, sure, but at the same time, I feel like it was necessary to have someone like him to kind of shake it up, to actually open up the discussion of men are valuable as much as women are valuable, you know, and if women want the world, a man should be able to want the world as well. So, you know, he was born March 15th, 1965. And he was born in Atlanta, Georgia, where he passed. Seemed very cultured, educated. His early life, he actually worked as a business management consultant company for some pretty big companies. And then after that, he became an image consultant and also a life coach. Back in 2013, that's when he really started his life coaching, YouTube videos, and the social media. At the time of his death, he was 56 years old, and he had over 1 million subscribers on YouTube, over 1 million followers on Instagram. He was working on his TikTok presence as well. And his channel really started off really as kind of a man's man show. Like, he's giving advice to young guys about different things, you know, exactly how to present yourself, also, you know, how to date, that kind of thing. As harsh as he was on women, he was equally harsh on men. So a lot of men, what a lot of people don't realize is they caught up to the show all the time too, and he would murder them when it comes to their demands they want. They want a woman to just come to them. You know, one that comes to mind that was kind of viral was this young guy who was like in his early 20s. I mean, he didn't make any money. Supposedly he had a small penis. He was short. He was way overweight. And he's like, well, how? And he went right through him. You know, it was crazy. And, you know, that gets overlooked because so many women would call up to kind of argue with him. So they come in there sometimes with a closed mind. But I feel like he championed men, and what we needed with that is to add us back to the conversation. You know, a lot of women feel like we don't need to be part of the conversation, but we do. I mean, there's two sides to this coin. You know, women can have all the preferences in the world. You know, I want a man over 6 feet. I want a man making over 6 figures. You gotta have a six-pack, all that kind of stuff. But when a man says something like that, like he wants a fit woman, now all of a sudden he's body shaming. You know, he says he wants a woman with no kids, and all of a sudden, oh, you know, you can't have that. Why are you discriminating on certain women? So we understand it as men. We say, okay, cool. If she wants that kind of stuff, we leave it alone. It's not necessarily a fight, or we try to fix and work on ourselves, you know, that kind of thing, you know, like even with us, our skin tone. You know, women say all the time, I don't like light-skinned guys, or, you know, whatever it is, or I don't date black guys. And it's like, but let a man say that. I don't date dark-skinned women. And it's like, everybody goes in an uproar, like, oh, what do you mean? You know, dark-skinned woman, black is beautiful, all this kind of stuff. Or if you want to date outside your race, oh, you're a sellout. You know, it's a whole bunch of stuff that I feel like he added to the conversation, where now we can participate in it, saying, all right, well, if you want these things, here's the things that I want. And I feel like that's just fine, you know. And I think that's a good balance when it comes to a relationship in general, you know. But I'll tell you this, Kevin Samuels, when he came out, or he kind of went viral a few years ago, I started following him, not really close, but I would just, you know, pick up a lot of his stuff there. I just watch some stuff, and he inspired me to actually start doing this, the Advice from Your Homeboy show that I do, where I'm like, well, let me just say some things that I feel in my life that I can add to the conversation of dating and different things that you can do. I even made a video about him asking the question, is he a narcissist, is he a sexist, you know, whatever. And I'll put the link in the description and all of that kind of stuff that you guys can check out. But I feel like he helped give me a little bit of a voice, you know, because I've always been opinionated all my life, and some of the things I say are very controversial, and especially when I talk to people in person, they're like, oh, I can't believe you're saying that. But I mean, that's just how I feel, and that's just how it really is, you know. I like to tell the story how it is. So yeah, I feel like, you know, prayers to his family, really, because, you know, he was a man, he was loved by many, he was hated by many too. But I feel like, you know, the person who has all the friends, they're kind of being phony and fake. Everybody's not gonna like you. And, you know, he spoke his truth and how he felt, you know. So I feel like it was like it was definitely a loss, you know. So yeah, again, prayers to his family and everything else, man. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. So yeah, man, if you guys like this video, please like and subscribe. You know, leave me a comment on whether you thought he was good for the conversation or good for our culture or not, you know. Yeah, so I'll check you guys out next time.